Sundar Leela Sundaram. Hare Krishna, dear Vishnavas, thank you so much for joining. We are reading first the Kartik readings and then we'll go to the Bhagvatam, Gajendra's prayers of surrender. So let's start with the Shikshashtakam. So I can read the first two and then Sthir Prabhu can read and Vipul Prabhu can read and Umesh Prabhu can read. Cheto darpanam marjanam bhavamahadavagni nirvapanam Shreyas Kairava Chandrika Vitranam Vidyavadhu Jivanam Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijyate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Glory to the Sankirtana. Glory to Shri Sankirtana. Glory to Shri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtana movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all the transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. Okay. Yes, Sudhir Prabhu, you want to read?
Oh. Nam namakari bahudada nija sarva shaktis tatrapi niyame smaranena kala etadrasi tvaya kripa bhagavan mamapi dhruvam idrisham iha nanugriha. O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of the kindness, you enable us easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attention for them. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna devotees, Dharvat Pranam. Trinadapi Shuni Cheno Taroivo Shoishnuna Amanina Mandeno Kirtaniya Sada Hori. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Umesh Prabhu, you want to read?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Na dhanam na janam na sundari kavitam va jagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhaktir ahetu ki tvayi. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire a beautiful woman, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. Hare Krishna.
Prabir Prabhu. You have to unmute Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Ainandatanuja kinkaram potitang mang vishambad bhavam buddha kripaya tava pada pankaja sthita dulishodrisham vichintaya. O son of Maharaj Nanda, Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes, Kirti Mataji, want to read? Nandini Kishori Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu, I couldn't hear my name. Nayanam galad ashrudharaya, vadanam gadgada rudaya gira, pulake nichatam vapukada tavanama grahane bhavishyati. O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love, flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up? And when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? Dandavats.
Anyone left? Yes, Kashish Mataji.
चक्षुषा प्रावशायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेण मे. O Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence.
Thank you. Ashlishya padratam pinashtumam adarshana marmahatam karotu va yatha tatha va vidhatulam pato mad prananathastu saivana paraha. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, Nectar of Instruction by Srila Rupa Goswami. We read this, right? 6th, correct?
We read up to 6, Prabhu.
Okay, so we'll read 7 and 8 today. So, who wants to read these verses? Anyone?
Prabhuji, Renaka would like to read. Okay.
Yeah, please. Here, unmute yourself.
स्या कृष्णनाम चरितादि सीतापि अविद्या वित्तोपतप्ता रसनास्य न रोचिकानो किन्त्वा आधारात् अनुदिनं खलु सैव जुष्टा स्वाध्वीक्रमाद भवति तद्गद मूलहन्त्री. The holy name, character, pastimes, and activities of Krishna are all transcendently sweet like sugar candy. Although the tongue of one afflicted by the jaundice of avidya, ignorance, cannot taste anything sweet, it is wonderful that simply by carefully chanting these sweet names every day, a natural relish awakens within his tongue, and his disease is gradually destroyed at the root. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. This is Srila Rupa Goswami speaking this. It ties so much to this Chaitanya Shishtastakam also, that your holy name is everything, but I have no taste, because I am covered with avidya. Lord Chaitanya, Srila Rupa Goswami are teaching by their example that how much they're eager to chant the holy name, but yet they feel that they have no taste. Okay, one more verse. Anyone who has not read?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I can read.
Yes, please.
Tannama Rupa Charitam Tasi Sukirtana Nu Smrutyo Karmena Rasanamasi Nyocha Tishta Trishtan Vraje Tananuraga Ji Jananugami Kalam Naye Dakhilam Mrityu Padesha Saram. Translation: the essence of all advice is that one should utilize one's full time, 24 hours a day, in nicely chanting and remembering the Lord's divine name, transcendental form, qualities, and eternal pastimes, thereby gradually engaging one's tongue and mind. In this way, one should reside in Vraja, Gokula Vrindavanadham, and serve Krishna under the guidance of devotees. One should follow in the footsteps of the Lord, beloved devotees who are deeply attached to his devotional service. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, Bhagavad Gita. So I don't even recall what point we read. We read this Shanma Karma Chameti Vyam, I think. So let's read from here. So those who have not read, please read one verse each.
Prabhuji, can I say?
Yes, please tell.
ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तां सतैव भजामि अहं ममावर्तमानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः.
As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pritha.
Krishna wants to read Tadvidhi.
तद्विपातेन परिपुष्टेन सेवया उपदेक्षन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः. Just try to learn from the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized souls can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Jyoti Mataji, you want to read?
Sure, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmane Gavihastini Sunichaiva Swapakecha Pandita Samadarshanaha. The humble sages, by virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision a learned and gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog-eater. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, you want to read?
Noise here, Prabhu.
Did you read? Anyone who has not read and would like to read?
I would read. Is it 3.4, Prabhuji?
Here.
Okay. Hare Krishna, everyone. Text 22. Yehi samsparsa jabhoga dukhana yona ya evate adi antavanta konteya nate suramate buddha. An intelligent person does not take part in the sources of miseries, which are due to contact with the material senses. O son of Kunti, such pleasures have a beginning and an end, and so the wise man does not delight in them.
Prabhu?
Yes, Hare Krishna. Bhoktaram yagna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram sruddham sarva bhutanam janatva mam santim rakshati. A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so I think everyone has read at least one verse. Rama wants to read.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Read. Bandura
Pandura Atmas Tasaya
Sinatam
Dam Jataha
Antamanastu
Antamasnastu
Ete
Sartu
Satrutve
Satruve
Vardhamane
Vardhamane Satu,
Satruvat
but for him who has conquered the mind, and the mind is the best of friends, but for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Anyone wanting to read? Has not yet read. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I offer my humble obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye. Before reciting Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. My regular attendance in the classes on Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Namami Damodara Pada Pankajam Karomi Damodara Pujanam Sada Vadami Damodara Nama Nirmalam Smarami Damodara Lila Sundaram Guruve Gaur Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Shri Radha Damodar ki Jai, Shri Prabhupada ki Jai, Shri Kartik Mas ki Jai, Shri Gajendra Stuti ki Jai. Hare Krishna, dear Vaishnavas, thank you so much for joining. We are reading Canto 8, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chapter 3, entitled Gajendra's Prayers of Surrender. Gajendra is not just a person, Gajendra is a great devotee who is representing all of us who are caught in the crocodile of death. In every moment, we are getting one step closer. So, Gajendra, out of utter helplessness, is chanting these prayers in state of complete samadhi. And I like to reread that first verse to set up our consciousness while before we read the next verse of the prayers. Evam vyavasito buddhya samadhya mano hridi jajapyam paramam japyam purvajanmani anushikshitam. So he learned this in his past life as King Indradumna. He was a great devotee. That's one point to remember. He was in complete state of samadhi with mind and heart completely attached to the lotus feet of Lord. That's another point to remember. And he was not chanting ordinary japa. He was chanting Paramam Japyam, calling out to the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then his mind, Evam Vyavasito Buddhya, his mind, intelligence was completely fixed in the lotus feet of Sri Hari, Lord Krishna. So in that state, he chanted these prayers. So we will chant these prayers. We already read the first three verses. That is the verse number 2, 3, 4. So we'll start with the next verse, and that is text number 5 today. So we discuss about, okay, let's read this verse, text number 5. Kalena panchatvam iteshu Kṛṣṇāshu lokeshu kaleshu cha sarva hetushu tamastadasid ghanam gabhiram yastasya pare abhi virajate vibhu. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In due course of time, when all the causative and effective manifestations of the universe, including the planets and their directors and maintainers, are annihilated, there is a situation of dense darkness. Above this darkness, however, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I take shelter of His lotus feet. Purport. From the Vedic mantras, we understand that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is above everything. He is the Supreme, above all the demigods, including Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. He is the Supreme Controller. When everything disappears by the influence of His energy, the cosmic situation is one of dense darkness. The Supreme Lord, however, is the sunshine, as confirmed in the Vedic mantras. Adityavarnam tamasa parastat. In our daily experience, when we on earth are in the darkness of night, the sun is always luminous somewhere in the sky. Similarly, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Sun, always remains luminous even when the entire cosmic manifestation is annihilated in the due course of time. So, we discussed how Gajendra was chanting these prayers. So, text number 2 talks about the Supreme Origin, text 3 talks about the Supreme Energy, and the number 4 talks about the Supreme Energetic. And also, quite interrelated, this verse talks about that how the Lord is transcendental. We also discussed this in the last verse as well, which was Parat Paraha. Parat Para, Pare ke Pare. He is transcendental to the transcendental. We can also understand this by, like, Lord Shiva is transcendental. Lord Shiva is also not an ordinary being, but he is also transcendental to Lord Shiva. Similarly, pure devotees are also transcendental. That often these words are used for pure devotee. They are transcendental. Mahatmanastu Mampartha Devim Prakritim Ashritaha. They are not under the material energy. They are under the divine energy. That means they are transcendental. But the Lord is transcendental to the transcendental as well. So the Lord is transcendental to everything. We also discussed in the last verse that He keeps the cosmic manifestation visible and invisible. So the invisible referring to the dark period for us, because that is the pralaya period, or the universes are not manifested. In we can understand that that is the dark phase. But is that the dark phase for the sun? When now it's night time in US, but in India it's daytime. So for sun, it is always luminous. So the analogy is given here that the sun is never in darkness, because sun is transcendental to darkness. Wherever there is sun, there can be no darkness. Krishna Surya Sama Maya hai andhakar. Yaha Krishna taha nahi Maya adhikar. Krishna Surya Saman. Krishna is like the sun and Maya is like darkness. Wherever there is Krishna, there can be no darkness. So in short, sun can never be covered with darkness. Similarly, Krishna is the real sun. Aditya Varnam Tamasa Parastat. So he is transcendental to all the demigods, including Lord Brahma, Shiva, Indra, Chandra, etc. He's above everything. He's above everyone. He's transcendental. And to that Supreme Lord, so he's not, so Gajendra is very, very clear to whom is he taking shelter of. He's not taking shelter of Indra, Chandra, Surya, etc. He's taking shelter of the Supreme Lord, who is the cause of everything, and who always all the planets are running under his direction, yet he is transcendental to all that. So he is not prone to be one amongst the material energy. He's the cause of everything, yet he's transcendental. So that's any other comments or additions in this text? Any questions?
I have a question. This is talking about annihilation, right? I mean, when the universe is destroyed and then created again. So, what happens to all the living entities, the time of annihilation?
Yeah, it's a great question. Who all know the answer? Raise your hand, please. Only Umesh Prabhu knows the answer. Who all know the answer? Okay, Umesh Prabhu, please tell.
I heard in the chapter 9, Krishna explains this process very well, how he destroys and annihilates. This process has been explained there. Earlier, I also had a doubt about the karma, basically. When Lord destroys everything, I thought of karma resets there. But that's not the Prabhupada commentary says. When he again creates the Srishti, brings the living being, all the jivas back to their original position, but that position is basically where you left your karma in the before the inhalation, and that's where I heard in the chapter. I heard in the chapter 9, Prabhu.
Thank you. You mentioned correct points, but I think you didn't touch the question. The question is what happens to the living beings at the time of annihilation. So anyone else would like to share?
Can I try, Prabhuji?
Yes, yes.
So I think what I heard, Prabhuji, there are two kinds of annihilations, partial and full annihilation. So in the partial annihilation, even in this material world, the top three lokas go into Mahavishnu, Mahavishnu, and the water, except the top three, all the remaining planetary systems go into Mahavishnu, and everything is kind of water, like that. In full annihilation, everything, all the planetary ecosystems, go into the body of Mahavishnu.
Yes, Nandini Mataji, you want to say something? Yes. Can you unmute, please?
Sorry. Thank you, Sudhir Prabhu and Umesh Prabhu. So at the time of annihilation, every complete annihilation, everybody's material body definitely goes away. Some of the rishis and the people who are in the mode, who are ready for liberation, they actually go to Vaikuntha. Some Brahmaloka people can go back to Vaikuntha. And again, it depends on a lot of factors, including the Brahma himself. Sometimes you don't get a good Brahma. Second, partial dissolution. The upper three planetary lokas remain, but the Rishi sages also shift to the upper planetary system because there's too much heat generated. And the lower planetary mode system, they will get, their material body will get destroyed. The karma remains exactly what it is. They're a soul with a false ego and mind. It will remain as it is, and depending on their state of leaving the body, their mind will be and their false ego will be. So they will get, the karma remains with them, karma account remains with them. Back to you, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Thank you everyone. Umesh Prabhu, Sudhir Prabhu, Nandini Mataji, thank you so much.
Prabhuji, in our chapter 1, when Swayambhava Manu was explaining, he was telling that at the time of annihilation, the material world is unmanifested and they enter into another stage of dreaming. They say that every living entities will be in the stage of dreaming, and I guess should be inside Vishnu. They might be dreaming stage, they're not conscious.
Correct. That's the different 3 stages of dreaming. Nice. So basically, just to sum up, the jiva's desires, the subtle body remains. What are the elements of subtle body? Everyone knows.
Mind, false ego.
Well, let's raise our hand first. I want to see actually. Who all know the elements of subtle body? I would encourage to attend for those who don't know, because we are doing this science of self-discovery and they are systematically designed to cover the foundations first. So quite a few of you are attending, but some are missing that. It will be nice for everyone to attend. They talk about the fundamentals. So yes, Bhaswati Mataji, please tell.
The 3 subtle elements are mind, intelligence, and ego.
Very nice. So those still remain. The gross body is gone. Basically, the desires, the quota of karma and desires, based on one's desires and based on the past karma, one will get the next body. But in that sleeping state or the dreaming state or that annihilation state, the jiva, along with the subtle body, is present in the Vishnu form. Karunakshai Vishnu. Okay. Is that okay, Prabhu?
Yeah, thank you, Hare Krishna. Thank you for all the answers.
Prabhuji, you said inside Karnodakshaya Vishnu, right?
Yeah, that's same as Mahavishnu.
Mahavishnu. Okay, thank you. And whenever the next, world, Mahavishnu breathes out, then, one more universe comes out, and then, those jivas will again, Brahma has to be the secondary creator, like that, right, Prabhuji? Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Please raise your hand if you would like to read and you have not read through the past few days. Mr. Bir Prabhu.
Hare Krishna devotees, Dandvat Pranam, Jai Śrīla Prabhupada. Text 6. Na jasya deva rishaya padam vidur jantu punakku arhati gantum iritam jatha natasya krithibir vichestato durattaya anukramana shama abatu. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. An artist on stage being covered by attractive dresses and dancing with different movements is not understood by his audience. Similarly, the activities and features of the supreme artist cannot be understood even by the demigods or great sages, and certainly not by those who are unintelligent like animals. Neither the demigods and sages nor the unintelligent can understand the features of the Lord, nor can they express in words his actual position. May that Supreme Personality of Godhead give me protection. Purport. A similar understanding was expressed by Kunti Devi. The Supreme Lord exists everywhere, within and without. He even exists within the heart. সর্বস্ব চাহম হৃদি সন্নিবিষ্ট ঈশ্বর সর্বভূতানাম হৃদ্দেশে অর্জুন তিষ্ঠতি. Thus it is indicated that one can find the Supreme Lord within one's heart. There are many yogis trying to find him. Dhyana bastito tad gatena manasa pasyanti yam yogina. Nonetheless, even great yogis, demigods, saints and sages have been unable to understand the bodily feature of the great artist, nor could they understand the meaning of his movements. What then is to be said of ordinary speculators like the so-called philosophers of this material world? For them, he is impossible to understand. Therefore, we must accept the statements given by the Supreme when he kindly incarnates to instruct us. We must simply accept the word of Lord Ramachandra, Lord Kṛṣṇa and Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and follow in their footsteps. Then it may be possible for us to know the purpose of their incarnations. Janma karma chame divyam evang jovetti tattvatah tyakta deham punarjanma naiti mam iti so Arjuna. Bhagavad Gita 4.9. If by the Lord's grace one can understand him, one will immediately be delivered even within his material body. The material body will no longer have any function, and whatever activities take place with the body will be activities of Krishna consciousness. In this way, one may give up his body and return home back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. So here in this verse, Gajendra is explaining that how difficult it is to understand Lord's activity, his movement. And Gajendra is saying that even the yogis who try to concentrate their mind and just to concentrate, they take so many years. They have to do so many asanas and everything. And then they concentrate, and then what to think about, like to know the God's activities, what he does, how he eats, what he eats, how he acts with his different relationship. And he's saying that, Gajendra is saying that, so what to talk about the unintelligent person? And Srila Prabhupada is saying that that same thing was expressed by Kunti Devi when Krishna was living. She was telling that it is so difficult to understand Krishna. But at the same time, Prabhupada is saying that Krishna is present in everybody's heart. And Prabhupada is saying that the yogis, they do dhyan so many ways, but even then, they cannot understand. They may able to fix their mind. But we see that Srila Sukadeva Goswami was explaining to Parikshit Maharaj about that Dam Bandhan Lila. He was saying that the yogis take so long just to concentrate, just to fix their mind. But on the other way, that Gopi, Mother Jashoda, she was binding Krishna with her love. And Parikshit Maharaj was eager. He wanted to know how Mother Jashoda bound Krishna. So Prabhupada is saying here that it is very difficult. It is not by our knowledge, not by our intelligence, And definitely what to about speculations, which is not even possible. To understand Krishna, to know how he acts, how his birth, how his pastimes are. And Prabhupada is saying that Krishna is so merciful. He comes to instruct us, actually. In one of the lecture of Amarendra Prabhu was telling that Paritranaya sadhunang vinashaya chadishkitam. For Paritran, for saving the sadhu, Krishna doesn't need to come. Vinashaya chadushkitam, just one coronavirus is enough to kill all the dushkritis. And holy name is enough to save everybody. But Krishna comes, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes, Lord Ramchandra comes to give us just information how the spiritual world is, how he acts, to show us. And Srila Prabhupada is saying we have to learn from them. So it's a descending process. That's what Srila Prabhupada is mentioning here. And Prabhupada is saying that only by Lord's grace one can understand. And Lord's grace, it's like we can see, we get some glimpse from Srila Prabhupada's explanation in the Krishna book, that what's the spiritual world like, how the Krishna's pastime were, and how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes were. So again, it is not our intelligence, not even our book, is only Lord's mercy and his devotees' mercy we can understand. Hare Krishna Prabhu, back to you.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for so nice reflection and reading. Who knows this verse of Kunti Devi? Raise your hand if you know. The first line of the purport, Prabhupada is mentioning that similar verse was spoken by Kunti Devi. Anyone knows this verse? Nikant Prabhu, we studied this together. Of course. Anyone knows? Okay. Let's study that one as well here, since we are Maya Javanika Channam Nagyadhokshajam Avyayam Nalakshase Mura Drisha Nato Natye Dharo Yatha. Very, very similar meaning. Maya Javanika Channam. Krishna is covered by the curtain of Maya. To whom? Agya Adhokshajam Avyayam. That means he's beyond Adhokshajam. He's beyond the range of senses. We cannot perceive Krishna by our blunt senses. Na lakshase mudha drisha. The mudhas, the foolish who have no faith in the process of bhakti, cannot see him. Drisha, darshan nahi kar payenge. Nato natya dharo yatha. Same, the word here also is used. Yatha natasya. Natasya. Natak. You all know natak? So natak is drama. So as a actor is doing drama on the stage, there could be some expert makeup, and even his own dear friend, husband, wife, or close friend may not be able to recognize. Why? Because of the covering. So even Brahma could not recognize Krishna. Even Indra could not recognize Krishna, because he is an expert actor. And that's what this verse is telling. He's an expert actor on stage. Neither the demigods nor the unintelligent can understand the features of the Lord. So, very, very similar verse. If you feel inspired, you can learn. This one is a little easier to learn. So, And this is the second prayer of Queen Kunti. So all the great devotees are praying in this similar fashion. Different words, but the essence, the bhava is the same. The mood is the same. In state of complete helplessness, in state of complete absorption at the lotus feet of the Lord. So Krishna is an expert actor. Now, how can we understand that? How can we understand? Through the process of bhakti. We can bind Krishna as Mother Yashoda is binding Krishna through the process of bhakti baddham. We cannot bind by jnana, nor by our own learning, nor by our austerity, nor by any other designation. We can only bind Krishna through bhakti. And Shukdev Goswami says in Canto 10 in Damodar Leela, Nayam sukhapo bhagavan dehinam gopika sutta jnaninam chatma bhutanam yatha bhakti matam iha. Nayam sukhapo. Sukhapo means there is no easy way to get Krishna. Nayam sukhapo bhagavan dehinam. Dehinam means those who are caught up in the bodily conception. They means body. Those who are caught up in the bodily conception of life, can they catch Krishna? No, no, no. Very difficult. Dehinam gopika sutta. Gopika sutta is, who's Gopika sutta? Any guesses?
Krishna.
Krishna, yes. And who's the Gopika here?
Yashoda.
Yashoda, yes. This whole pastime is Yashoda, Damodara. So Gopika sutta refers to sutta is son. Romaharshan sutta, sutta, Nanda sutta. So this word sutta means a child or son. So Gopika sutta is referring to Damodar or Krishna. So what is the easy way? Yatha bhakti matam iha. Jnani, yogis, dehinam, they cannot catch Krishna. But the bhaktis, yogis or the bhaktas like Mata Yashoda, they can easily catch Krishna. So the process is bhakti, the process is Shabda Praman, the authority of the scriptures, Guru Sadhu Shastra. That way we can understand Krishna or try to understand Krishna, not through our own skill, not through our own intelligence, but through bhakti. Because then he will and it is so interesting, actually. It is so interesting. In Vrindavan, his drama does not work. The love of his devotee is so much that he may kill so many big demons. But Mata Yashoda never considers his as a great person. Oh, he's God. Like, who can kill such Putana, Trinavrat, and Akasur, Bakasur? So many demons Krishna killed every day. But the bhakti is so deep that the drama does not work. But look at Brahma. Brahmaji, of course, he's taking this position when Krishna is having some ordinary pastime, like playful talks and playful activities with his cowherd friends, like, eating Madhumangal's jutha, chach. He kind of punches Madhumangal on his face, and all the chach spills on his face, and then Brahma thinks, oh, this is not God. So the expert actor put into illusion Brahma, and that's Brahma Vimohana. So this is the beauty of Krishna. Any other comments, additions, or questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, not directly related to this, but I have a small question, Prabhuji. So I was actually listening to Gajendra Moksham, and in one of it was, Amarendra Prabhu says that, Balarama actually serves in all rasas, including Madhurya rasa. So Prabhuji, I was thinking, How does he serve in Madhurya Rasa? Does he come as a gopi or something like that, Prabhuji? Any idea?
It's a good question. Who knows the answer? Anyone?
Can you please repeat the question?
How Balramji serves in Madhurya Rasa.
As Ananga Manjari. And he appears as a younger sister of Radharani, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, Mataji. Very nice. So that answers Prabhuji's question. Ananga Manjari, the younger sister of Krishna.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Matt.
Of Balramji. Okay, let's read the next verse, text number 7. Yes, Shreya Mataji, sorry, Jyoti Mataji, you want to read?
Sure, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Dandavad pranams to all the devotees. Text 7. Tidrikshavo yasya padam sumangalam vimukta sangha munayah susadhavah charanti aloka vratam avranam vane bhutatma bhutaha suhridah same gatihi. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charna Ravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Renunciants and great sages who see all living beings equally, who are friendly to everyone, and who flawlessly practice in the forest the vows of brahmacharya, vanaprastha, and sannyasa, desire to see the all auspicious lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. May that same Supreme Personality of Godhead be my destination. Purport. This verse describes the qualifications for devotees or persons highly elevated in spiritual consciousness. Devotees are always equal to everyone, seeing no distinction between lower and higher classes. Panditah Samadarshinaha. They look upon everyone as a spirit soul who is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. Thus, they are competent to search for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Understanding that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the friend of everyone, Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam, they act as friends of everyone on behalf of the Supreme Lord, making no distinction between one nation and another or one community and another. They preach Krishna consciousness, the teachings of Bhagavad Gita everywhere. Thus, they are competent to see the lotus feet of the Lord. Such preachers in Krishna consciousness are called Paramahamsas. As indicated by the word Vimukta Sangha, they have nothing to do with material conditions. One must take shelter of such a devotee in order to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thank you. Hare Krishna, back to you, Prabhuji.
What did you like? Mataji, please share from the source. What is your understanding?
In this purport, Srila Prabhupada emphasizes the fact that how all our acharyas are teaching this, taking the Krishna consciousness to the entire world, irrespective of their the country to which they belong or whatever is their background. So they treat each and every soul equally. That is, all they recognize is the identity as the spirit soul, irrespective of their material body in which they are. So that is why they are able to treat all of them equally and then take this Krishna consciousness to each and everyone all over the world. So that is what I understand. Please elaborate or correct me. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So we discussed that the Mudas cannot understand Krishna, or those who are too much in the bodily conception of life, Gyanis, etc., they can't understand Krishna. Now the question may come, Baba, who can understand Krishna? Who can get to see Krishna? because he is covered to those who, like a actor covered on the stage, he is covered. Now, what is the formula to unveil that covering? So a devotee, bhakti baddham, or nayam sukhapo bhagwan. So many verses. Vedeshu durlabam adurlabam atma bhakto, Brahmaji says. So many verses talk about the same point. Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita that bhaktya mam abhijananti, so that I can be known through the process of bhakti. Patram pushpam phalam toim yome bhaktya prayachati tadam bhakti upaharitam manmanabhav mad bhaktau. So many verses, whether in Brahma Samhita or Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam or the prayers of the great souls or the Bhagavad Gita, they all emphasize on one thing. What is the goal of life? To be a bhakti. What is the constitutional position? Jivara Surupa Krishna Nitya Das or Bhakta again. So the point is, now the question may come, who is the right Bhakta? The 5 qualifications are mentioned here. There are multiple qualifications, but there are 5 mentioned here. Number 1, Vimukta Sangha. So Sangha Tyaga Sato Vritti. Sangha Tyaga. We just read in the where? Updeshamrita, Nectar of Instruction. Sangha Tyaga. We must give up the bad association. The bad Sangha we have to give up. Vimukta Sangha. Persons who are disinfected from material conditions. That means we have to give up the bad association, the association which is not conducive to our spiritual life. We have to avoid that. Vimukta. Munayaha, great sages. Now, sages does not just mean in sannyasis. We have discussed that Swayambhu Manu, which ashram he was in, Dhruv Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Tukaram, Srila Prabhupada, almost practically major portion of his life, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they were all in the Grihastha ashram. So it's not just that one cannot be a Muni in the Grihastha ashram. Raj Rishis, Swayambhu Manu, Raj Rishi, Priyavrat Maharaj, all these were Muni, were great sages in the Grihastha ashram as well. So Sadhavaha, that's the next word used, highly elevated in spiritual consciousness. That's the goal. To become elevated in spiritual consciousness or Krishna consciousness. That's the third quality. And then Charanti Aloka Vritam. Flawlessly practice devotional service or devotional vows. So we have to practice our vows flawlessly. That means our best. That means, as told by Srila Prabhupada, the more we try to take shortcuts, the more we lax, the more we will dilute our bhakti. Very simple. With others, we should be mild and lax, but with our own self, we should be very strict and serious and sincere. But the problem happens when with others we are strict. Hey, why are you not doing this? Why are you not doing this? Why are you not doing this? Oh, I can do. I have to go very mildly, rosy cozy. So with ourselves, we have to be strict because purity is the force. And purity comes from where? Purity comes from flawlessly practicing the process of bhakti. Flawless chanting, flawless reading of shastras, not seeing the flaws in others, flawless. Seeing their own flaws, which is full. So you should practice flawless devotional service. Then Bhuta Atma Bhutaha Suhrid. Suhrid. So being a friendly to everyone. Now everyone does not mean just my own community or just my own family. Everyone means everyone. Everyone means the whole world, the whole universe. And that's the compassionate side. We discussed the two qualities, soft and pure, like butter. So by flawless practicing of bhakti, one will become pure. Purity is the force that will attract Krishna's mercy. And being kind, being a well-wisher, being a suhrid. Suhrid means good heart. Literal meaning is good heart. Hrid means heart, so means good. To have a good heart, kind heart, compassionate heart, soft heart towards others will be able to help them as well based on the situations. So to be a genuine well-wishers, to be friendly to everyone. So these 5 qualities are mentioned. And to these people, because they are devotees, they're all practicing devotional service, then Krishna is easily bound. Then Krishna is bound by these devotees. Krishna se tomara, Krishna dete paro tomara shakati ache. Krishna is yours. Tomara shakati ache. You can, if the great souls like Narad Muni says, hey Krishna, give this bhakti to this Mrigari. Okay, Mrigari become pure devotee. Okay, give the bhakti to Daku Ratnakar. Daku became Valmiki. That's the power of pure devotees. They carry Krishna in their hearts. If they say, give it to him, then Krishna has to give. Swayam Bhattacharya, what's that? Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, his son-in-law Amoga was an offender, but being an associate of Swayam Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Lord showered his mercy and became pure devotee. There are multiple examples. The point is the devotees are these who practice sincerely. And if we also practice sincerely, there is hope for us as well. And that is the real goal of life. Any other comments or questions? Anyone has any additions? Okay, so we will pause here then and continue with the next verse tomorrow. I hope it is okay. We might maybe going with a little slower pace, but the goal is not to win the race, but to absorb the taste of Bhagavatam. So I hope everyone is relishing the wonderful prayers of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and Srimad Gajendra's prayers. So we'll pause here. Mantra Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Gajendra Stuti ki jai.
Jai.
Shri Kartik Mas ki jai.
Jai.
Samveta Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai.
Jai.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.